Hey, Lynsie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. So, Lynsie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm the mother of four kids and I teach piano. I have 50 piano students and I go to school full time. So getting
Wow.
close to being right.
What are you studying?
Piano performance.
Okay,
Actually, and I just added another major, so integrated studies with business and music. So
wonderful, wonderful.
yeah.
So, Lynsie, I know you've been doing work with me for the last, I want to say, 2.5 years, maybe even three.
Right.
And
hmm
we've moved through a lot of stuff. But tell us, why did you decide to attend the Fearlessly Authentic retreat? Because it's really kind of an introduction to my program.
Right. So, you recommended that my son come to the retreat, and it had been a while since I have done any work, and I just really needed to reconnect and have a refresher. So that's what prompted me to go.
Okay. And so, what was your experience going through the retreat?
So, because I've done a lot of work with you and I know what it entails, I was really resistant at first because I knew there was going to be some emotions brought up that I didn't want to have to face. And I kept thinking of all the excuses and reasons why I didn't need to go and shouldn't go and wasn't going to go. But I know better, and I knew that that really just meant I really needed to go. So I just sucked it up and went. And the first day was hard. It was hard for me because I just had a ton of resistance. And I think I knew the main issue that was going to come up, and it was something that I just didn't want to have to deal with and work through. But the second day when I went back, I actually was able to get in and recognize the work that needed to be done, and I moved through a ton of emotional issues and felt like I really connected. For me, this retreat was really connecting with uh, divinity, and I felt like I had disconnected
Mhm,
with that, and so it was really just exactly what I needed
mhm,
at that exact time.
mhm. And of course, then that affects your trust in your faith.
Definitely. Yes. I have definitely I don't know if you want specifics, but I
You can
was
go ahead and share
especially
specifics.
do
Yeah.
did you say yes?
If you're
Okay.
comfortable doing it, go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. So I was really experiencing a lot of fear of death and fear of what happens after this life. I'd really gone through a faith crisis for a good 8 years.
Mhm,
And I've been through points in time where I feel like, all right, I'm in a good place now. But I really wasn't. And so for me, it was facing that fear of death and really feeling like, I guess I had felt, you're always teaching us everybody has anger towards God.
mhm,
And I was so angry at God that I wasn't even acknowledging an existence of God. And that was really painful and really lonely. I felt like I was just going through life alone.
mhm.
I mean, I have family and friends, but family and friends die. And so this was the fear, part of my fear of death. And seeing my best friend go through so much loss, and the pain that that's caused her it's really kind of stirred it up. I mean, to see her go through it and then to contemplate, chances are really good I'm going to lose those same people in my life. And so I think I just was deflecting and focusing my attention on her and not really letting myself feel what, process through what's going to happen and how am I going to feel when that actually happens with me. So that was a huge thing. And I had to really go to a dark place in the retreat. But once I was able to really go through that dark place, then the light came in and I reconnected, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. And now, of course, you don't have that fear anymore.
Right. Yes, I feel definitely. I mean, I don't feel like have all the answers and I'm completely healed, but I definitely feel reconnected and feel like I'm safe. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. So, if you were to say that prior to doing any work with me, what other interventions had you tried? Because I know we've moved through a whole bunch of stuff over the years.
Yeah. Right. I've been to like different self-help seminars. I've read a lot of, self-help books and self-improvement things, and they've been helpful, but I feel like they just skim the surface. I've had traditional therapy. I think, everybody has, I think everybody has issues. I know everybody has issues and needs to work through things. And so at certain times in my life when I'd been experiencing extra painful things, I've been through therapy, but it just didn't ever get to the root of the problem. And I'm a big believer that everything that we do is based on either love or fear.
Mm-hmm.
And is motivated from love or fear. You can trace it back to that. And I feel like these other modes don't really connect you with what's really happening. And so while they were helpful to kind of help me get it off my chest or have some direction, it was just kind of a Band-Aid. So that was my own experience.
Mm-hmm.
I knew there was something. I always left feeling like, okay, but I still feel crappy,
Right.
I still feel like I don't know what to do. So, yeah, I mean, I've seen psychics, and I've seen a shaman and things like that. And that was interesting. I've been interested in numerology and astrology and feng shui, and definitely those are helpful, but not, I mean, some of them have been helpful for me, but not to this extent, not to this level.
Yeah. So how would you say that those other interventions that you had tried compared to what you experienced in the Fearlessly Authentic purification program, the work that we do there?
Well, nothing that I've ever done that I mentioned before left me reduced to, ugly, crying, gut-wrenching, soul-searching, just and a connection. I just didn't feel a connection with those. And with this retreat and pretty much all the other work I've done with you, I felt like all the fluff and all the haze and all of the crap is pushed aside, and we get to see what's really there. And there's a few poignant moments that will always stick with me. And I'm trying to think of how to summarize this. There was one retreat, which I think it's fair to, even though it wasn't this one, I think it's fair to compare because it's the same, it's the same premise. There was one retreat where we were all in a meditation, and you asked us what we all saw, and everybody was saying, "Oh, I saw flowers and meadows and beautiful things." And then I won't mention her name, but somebody said, "That's not what I saw. I saw like a Martian landscape and death." And you said, she's the only one who's being honest, or really saw what she was the only one who really saw. So that really changed something in me. And it's scary, it's hard. It's scary to go in and do that work. But when I went in and I looked at what I was seeing in the meadow, and I actually looked underneath the plants and could see they weren't supported. They were just little spindly, wispy stems coming out of the ground, and I wasn't rooted at all. I wasn't grounded at all. And you don't get anything like that in these self-help things. It's just, how can you fix the surface of your life? It's putting on the layers of coat and saying, look, world, I'm happy, I'm fine, everything's good here. So it really doesn't even compare. I mean, this work actually changes, and the other stuff is just the Band-Aid, really. That's how I view it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Lynsie, for your time and sharing your experiences. You're helping so many people receive this message of this work that we do.
Well, thank you for your work. You have helped me, my family, and I don't know what we'd do without you. So
Oh my gosh.
Eternally grateful for you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to switch on.